Productions.
Hey, this is Marona Prophecy, and I'm gonna do commentary on this video exposing the elite. And I'm not gonna tell you what happens, but Jamal,
did you get ready in the dark or
says
something?
that he's glad that
Because you look like a beautiful.
he's been trying to reach you all. Let's get into it.
It's all coming out. Again, I keep going back to what Cat Williams said. I don't even think he needs to do an update, because I don't even think he knew it was gonna get this crazy. You know?
Yeah, he did. Why he didn't know? He a part of the elite? Yes. He has made it. He is there.
But I did hear about him being arrested. I don't know exactly in detail what, but I'll leave the link to the Truth Is channel so you guys can check out more and even subscribe. We ain't gonna waste no more time. Let's jump right into it.
This year has been such an interesting year. It seems that Hollywood has been unraveling right in front of the masses. This was the year that so many powerful people were exposed one by one. While recently people have been obsessed with Diddy, it seems that they have forgotten of all the other names that were exposed this year. Nickelodeon and Dan Schneider were exposed for their evil against children. The WWE and Vince McMahon were exposed for taking advantage of...
That's another one I gotta check out.
See, Vince McMahon, he's a wrestler. I remember him. Or is he the radio sportscaster? He is somebody like that, but I remember his face. His face is very, it's familiar. So I remember him as a kid is what I'm saying.
Another one. Vince McMahon.
Dan Schneider were exposed for their evil against children. The WWE and Vince McMahon were exposed for taking advantage of women and trafficking. Kanye West was also allegedly exposed for trying to take advantage of women just like Diddy. Now, another powerful man is being
Yeah, and just like how Kanye, you can't trust none of them. Okay, they telling the truth, but this is by what the power of God, y'all. Do you understand now? You can't trust none of them, because guess what? Just as Kanye is telling, now they said he been doing it. Of course he been doing it. He up in the Illuminati. They been had it out for him. He has clones, y'all. He has done it all. He has done it, and they have done it all to him. Rusty Screwdriver. They've been playing with this man's brain. They've been making him do things. The Manchurian. Have you seen the movie? What is it called? The Manchurian Candidate, or if I'm saying it right, okay. With Denzel Washington. I'm gonna show y'all that movie.
Accused of similar crimes as Diddy. This time is the businessman and former CEO of Abercrombie & Fitch, Mike Jeffries, as he has just gotten arrested for horrific crimes that might just be worse than Diddy's. Hey, God.
Yeah, the Abercrombie man looked like a little demon too, cause you know, they start manifesting, when they do these things for long periods of times, and they practice these things, they start looking like these deities, and they look funny. Up in Hollywood, all that plastic surgery and whatever else that they do, but you know.
Guys, I hope all is well. Welcome back to The Truth Is, where I drop new videos every other day exposing the truth. In today's episode, we will be...
Well, this is Marona Prophecy, and I also post videos, and I also bring you to the enlightenment of the truth, because God said whatever's in the dark will come to the light. And yes, this is the year for the light, 2024, and I post videos maybe 3, 4, 5 days it takes me, you know, because I'm a single parent and it's hard. Let's get into it.
We'll be talking about Mike Jeffries, the former CEO of Abercrombie & Fitch. Let's get right into it. Right now, we are witnessing one of the most interesting moments in our recent history. We are watching a shift in the tide. For the longest, the rich and powerful have always managed to get away with doing the most horrific crimes. Whatever they did, they either get a slap on the wrist for it, or worse, their crimes are just covered up entirely. This made the rich and powerful untouchable, allowing them to do as they please without any consequences. But it appears that this year, that armor that was protecting these monsters has finally broken. Name after name just keeps on getting revealed, showing us who are truly the monsters of...
I'm just wondering what it is, though. Because, like, this stuff's been going on for years and years and years. It's like, what caused the breakthrough?
The test of time. It was time. Okay, that season is over. Those seasons are over, and Jesus says no more. And Satan, you cannot do this anymore. You are going to be exposed. And like I said, like he said, yes, this has been going on. This is ancient. These practices are ancient. Let me tell you what they're practicing. These people are in the Kabbalah. These people are practicing esoteric magic. Okay, this is ancient magic. These people are Luciferians and Satanists. Yes, they are. And yeah, they're under the deities, the fertility deities, the Baal worship, and the Moloch gods, and the Baphomet, and the Ashtoreth. Yeah, let's continue.
You know? Because for years, they felt invincible. Like, nothing could happen to them. And then, boom, it's all happening.
Jamal, but did you hear the key word that you said? You said they felt. They feel like. That's the problem. Feelings. Feelings are not valid just because you feel one way. Your emotions can go up and down 1,000 times a day. That's what the Lord Jesus Christ says. Do not depend on your emotions, okay? So my whole thing is Satan had sent a strong delusion over them, having them believe another way because of the demonic world and reality that they were in.
This world. This time, it was one of the most richest businessmen in the world, the former CEO of one of the most known clothing brands in the world, ABERCROMBIE & Fitch. Just like P. Diddy, it's being reported that Mike Jeffries was arrested on trafficking charges. He is being accused of using his status and power as the CEO of ABERCROMBIE to trick male models into participating in sex parties with him and his accomplices.
No.
Going over the indictment, I can't help but think of Diddy. The allegations are quite similar, besides the fact that Jeffries seemed to only be interested in male models. According to the indictment, since at least late 2008 to 2015, Mike Jeffries and his two other accomplices, Matt Smith and James Jacobson, ran a male trafficking ring. The indictment claims that Mike used his power as the CEO of ABERCROMBIE & Fitch to convince male models to participate in his own version of the Diddy freak-off parties.
Dang.
James Jacobson was the middleman and the recruiter for Jeffries, as he would scout the models for him. Jacobson would then promise these male models that if they participated in these freak-offs with Jeffrey, they would be given a modeling opportunity with ABERCROMBIE & Fitch. When the models would agree, they would be forced to participate in acts with Jacobson. These men were then transported around the world to participate in Jeffrey's freak-off parties, and in exchange, he promised them opportunities or paid them off. Now
that was a lot. Woo! Come on, everybody. Woosah. Breathe in. Breathe out. All right. Now, is it safe to say? Now, I'm just saying these things because I'm coming up out the head. So, is the Louis Vuitton person, was he at the party? Was the Gucci person? Was the Prada person? Was they at the party? Where the Tommy Hilfiger man? Was he at the party? Is that why they killed Versace? Because he didn't want to go to the parties anymore? I mean, come on, man. Now you're starting to think, right? I'm starting to think, okay, where does the Manchurian candidate, the movie, fit into this? Okay, the killer that killed Versace. Okay, let's not go too far off, but follow me. Was he under MK Ultra? How did he get killed outside his front door?
Now, let's read this full indictment together, as it's truly disturbing in so many ways. The defendant, James T. Jacobson, also known as Jim Jake, Mr. Cook, and Todd, was employed by the defendants Michael Jeffries and Matthew C. Smith to recruit, interview, and hire men to perform commercial acts for Jeffries and Smith, including at the New York properties from approximately 2008 to 2015. The defendant Michael S. Jeffries, Matthew E. C. W. Smith, and James T. Jacobson, together with others, operated two international trafficking and prostitution business. During this period, Jeffries and Smith relied on their vast financial resources, Jeffries' power as the CEO of ABERCROMBIE, and numerous people including Jacobson and a network of employees, contractors, and security professionals to run a business that was dedicated to fulfilling the sexual desires and ensuring that their international trafficking and prostitution business was kept secret, therefore maintaining Jeffrey's powerful reputation. As part of this international trafficking, the defendants Michael Jeffrey and Matthew C. Smith paid for dozens of men, including among other John Does number 1 through 15, individuals whose identities are known to the grand jury, to travel within the United States and internationally to meet Jeffries and Smith in various locations, including at the New York properties, as well in hotels in such places as England, France, Italy, and Morocco. For the
Y'all, this is all rich people stuff. Y'all, this is all the lifestyles of the rich and famous, but this is not the glorious side. And that's why when you get rich and you get famous, they exclude your family. They make you cut off your family members. The only family you're going to be around is the ones that are actually in the industry with you, and or that got in the industry, that put you in the industry, like the parents or something like that. They have to be in the industry. If you're not, you won't see them no more. You won't be around regular people. You will be isolated. That's why they said, that's why Britney Spears got the conservative ship. She's locked up, just like Mariah Carey. She can't get out of her house. She locked up too. What they've been saying. Now Beyonce, now she see with that Baphomet God. She is locked up. That is in the dungeon.
The purpose of engaging in commercial acts with Jeffrey Smith and others at the sex events. Some of the men traveled to and were paid to attend multiple sex events. The defendants Michael S. Jeffries and Matthew C. Smith recruited, hired, and paid an exclusive set of household staff to facilitate and supervise the sex events. Amongst other things, the staff transported men to and from the sex events, arranged physical spaces for the sex events, and supervised the men who attended, including amongst other things, facilitating the conduct described below in paragraphs 9 to 11. At the direction of the defendants Michael Jeffries and Matthew C. Smith, the staff were presented at, observed, and acted as security for, including by controlling entry and exit at the sex events. The staff also provided Jeffrey Smith's and the men who attended with alcohol muscle relaxants known as poppers, lubricant, Viagra, and condoms, amongst other items. As directed by Jeffries and Smith, the staff also directed men to, among other things, wear costumes, use sex toys, or prepare for particular acts. Either the defendant James T. Jacobson or the staff paid the men for attending the events. At the direction of Smith, Jacobson paid fees to individuals who successfully referred men who were subsequently selected.
It's like a high-class back page. Y'all know what back page is, huh? Yeah, the poor people of the poverty, all different races, creeds, and colors know what a back page is. Before I think Craigslist was out, that's how people would prostitute themselves from their home. They would put a list in or something on a back page, whether it was a magazine, some type of communication, like a Craigslist or something where people buy things, but then they would be posting, sex, for sale. Okay.
The defendant James T. Jacobson traveled throughout the United States and internationally to recruit and interview men for the sex events. During tryouts of potential candidates, Jacobson typically required that the candidates first engage in commercial acts with him. Following the tryout by Jacobson, the defendant Matthew C. Smith approved candidates prior to their selection for and transportation to an event. At the direction of Smith, Jacobson paid fees to individuals who successfully referred men who were selected. The defendants Michael S. Jeffries, Matthew C. Smith, and James T. Jacobson, and others acting at their direction, employed coerced, fraudulent, and deceptive tactics in connection with the recruitment, hiring, transportation, obtaining, maintaining, solicitation, and payment of men to engage in commercial acts. For example, Jeffries, Smith, and Jacobson and others acting at their direction employed a referral system and interview process that failed to inform men of the details of the sex events before they attended, including the full extent and nature of the sexual activity that would be required of the men at the events, including amongst other things. While I can't say was listed here, let's just say backdoor play with large adult toys. Let's continue. Required that prospective candidates first participate in a sexual encounter or tryout with Jacobson, at times without any notice. Caused men to believe that attending the sex events could yield.
So just being in an industry period that is ran by Hollywood in America, that's why the white casting couch is not far-fetched from what they says happens on that casting couch to even get your shot. Okay, it's for in every everything in entertainment, or something to do with a model or looks or something with TV or something. They got their hands in everything. Nothing is clean.
Yield modeling opportunities with Abercrombie or otherwise benefit their careers, or, in the alternative, that not complying with requests for events acts during the events could harm their careers, including by, amongst other things, referring directly and indirectly to modeling opportunities that did not exist, incorporating Abercrombie's products in the events, providing men with itineraries for the events that did not refer to commercial S, instead resemble those sent to models for photo shoots.
So what do you tell your children when they say, "Hey mom, I want to be a model. I'm going to go be a model." What do you say? "No honey, they're going to bape you."
Thereby obscuring the nature of the events from the men selected to attend. Physically groomed men prior to the S events, including at times shaving men's privates without advance notice. Required men to relinquish their personal items, including clothing, wallets, and cellular.
Now listen up. I know y'all getting woke over here. Y'all starting to wonder and ponder, about them Calvin Klein models. Who else? Who else models underwear? Tommy Hilfiger, do you model underwear? Who else models underwear? I don't know. All I know is the famous one is CK Draw.
Cellular phones and store them in inaccessible locations during the S events. Required men to sign non-disclosure agreements, prohibited the disclosure of information about the S events, including to their own family and friends, and required the payment of damages in the event of a breach.
Now, those are those famous NDA contracts, the non-disclosure agreements, yes, that they must sign. Yeah.
Internationally recruiting heterosexual men, certain of whom were unwilling to engage in particular S acts, including backdoor, and insisted that men who previously stated they were unwilling to engage in particular S acts, including backdoor, nonetheless engage in such acts during the S events. Pressured men to consume alcohol, Viagra, and muscle relaxants known as poppers during the S events, required the presence of the staff during the S activity, and ensured that men attending did not leave the S events until Jeffrey and Smith decided. On more than one occasion, the defendants Michael Jeffries and Matthew C. Smith either directed others to or personally injected men in their privates with a prescription-grade erection-inducing substance for the purpose of causing the men to engage in S acts in which they were otherwise physically incapable or unwilling, notwithstanding the fact that these injections.
Now, remember my Johnny Hay video? Rihanna's publicist. Make sure you watch that video if you have not seen it. But that Diddy also had sex with Big Papa's son, CJ Wallace. Yes, it's true. Faith Evans' son. CJ Wallace, Big Papa, yes. P. Diddy did it to him. But yeah. Okay, so we was talking about the ketamines and that of that nature. I was telling you about the tranquilizers and what they all mean. And yeah, I was telling you this already. Jesus!
Actions were not medically indicated and frequently caused the men to suffer painful physical reactions that lasted for several hours. Jeffries and Smith employed their use to fulfill their own sexual desires by causing men to submit to them. As you can see, these are some really troubling allegations.
Boy, I just, fame, people trying to make it, it ain't worth it, man. I told you, whenever you go somewhere and they're trying to get you to sign an NDA, if you're able, get the hell up out of there, because it is not worth it. Like the stuff that goes on. And I don't know how old this dude is. I forgot how, if they even mentioned it, but it's like, if he goes to jail,
he looks like a damn vampire. Like I said, these people are so demonic. I'm telling you, he looks like George Bush's in one of the Rothschilds' One of those people. Yeah, and they drink, I don't know if I could say blood, but yes, they drink blood. Yes, for youth. See, this is deliverance ministry, and I just got to come to you. Nobody sees how demonic this dude is, how overtaken and run down and possessed this guy is. He's manifested. Look at his teeth in his mouth. This is normal for him. Now, and you see how wicked the industry is, how wicked Satan. That's why Satan, you have a number with him. When you get signed up with Satan, you're giving up your life. Okay, Jesus has your soul. That is not for sale. Even though you sell your soul, you think, right? Okay, it's all trickery. So what I'm trying to say is, you see how Satan picked him off? Okay, he used him because he was the best. He was Satan's favorite son, right? And then, okay, now he old and used up. Okay, he can clip him off. Okay, he's ready for death.
You know, is it going to be damaging on the company? We'll have to see. But it's like, I'm just thinking about,
sir, at this point, Jamal, nobody even gives a hoot nanny about a company. I mean, these is people's lives. Like, this has changed the world. This has shooken up the whole wide world right now.
The total opposite. Like, I feel like there's so many, like, enough stories out now that people got to really question, do they really want this? Some people may be willing to go through all this stuff. But for the ones that aren't and are forced to,
what this indictment tells us is what I've been saying for a while now. Diddy isn't the only one in Hollywood having these crazy freak-off parties. It's many of these powerful people up to this disturbing behavior. Just like Diddy forced people to participate in his freak-offs with the promise of a music career,
Let's make a quick correction. He was forcing people because people was forcing him, and then the people that was forcing him, somebody was forcing them, and then the ones that was forcing them, somebody was forcing them. Okay, the hierarchy.
Jeffries promised male models that he would give them a career modeling if they participated in his freak-offs. He literally forced straight male models.
Although, let me clear up, I did not say that once he was pressed, because remember, this man has been indoctrinated and, abused and all of that too. Everything that Kanye West went through, but it was in a different manner. It was in a sexual type spells and incantations and black magic and Santerias. It was things of that nature. The same thing, but it was just different because he was compliant at first and he got used to it. And once you get used to it and you get these demons into your soul, you want to do these things. So after that, he was willing.
Into participating in his all-male freak-off parties, literally injecting their privates with something that would force them to be in the mood. This is what the industry does. This is the unspoken price of fame. If you want to make it, you have to sell out and compromise. Now, if you're asking yourself, why are all these elitists participating in the same activities? Well, it's because they're all a part of the same religion, Thelema, or the Golden Dawn. Yeah. What the masses don't know is that Thelema, or the Golden Dawn, is...
I'm gonna be honest, they are involved with the OTO, the Order Templis Orientis, and the Argentium Astrium, the AA, which is the Order of the Silver Star. I probably the one he talking about too, but they is involved with the Order of the Silver Star, which is the Argentium Astrium. You guys ain't never heard of this, okay? And these are all the groups that have been adopted under Aleister Crowley for the magical, mystical religion belief that he has cultivated, that he has made as an occultist in 1904, and these are his Thelemites, and this is Hollywood.
Is the secret religion of the elite in Hollywood. These
on to say though, Aleister Crowley's religion that he cultivated, how he gained this religion, how he made it, was because he was worshiping. He was, summoning Egyptian gods, like, Thoth, Roth, all of them ones that I named out, Osiris, all of them, y'all, and then the higher ones before then. So what I'm trying to say, there's just a little confusion between the group of people, their titles, and then the religion. So I think he had it kind of confused. You get what I'm saying? Because he was saying something The Thelema is the religion, the practice. It is the set of magic from Aleister Crowley. Like you can say modern day Kabbalah. This is it. This is where this stuff comes from. You know, the Kabbalah has been here before, you know, the Thelema. But the Thelema is from the Egyptians. Like, let me read these deities to you. Isis, Osiris, Horus, and they are the archetypes of Nuit, Hadit, Ra, Horkuit. You get what I'm saying? Some of you scholars out there understand what I'm saying.
These group orgy rituals come directly from this.
So don't get it twisted because it's kind of confusing. What I'm trying to say is it's these secret societies that are in these certain secret orders that practice these religions like the Thelema and the Kabbalah. But it's all a sex cult. It is a death cult. Do you understand what I am saying to you? Because this is facts.
This religion, and they do it to harness sexual magical energy. While you might think that this is silly, it's what these people believe in. Think about it. This is very similar to the allegations Vince McMahon is facing. He was accused of having his own WWE freak-offs, just like Jeffries and Diddy. This is not tailored to one individual in Hollywood. These powerful men are all up to the same sick behavior, and it comes from what they worship. The only difference is they haven't been exposed yet. What Mike Jeffries was doing was just as bad, or some would even say worse than what Diddy did. The only thing that concerns me...
The truth is, you are totally correct, but it all boils down to this is an occult. This is a cult. Do you understand? A worldwide demonic cult. Like it's originated. Its origin is Satan. You get what I'm saying? It comes strictly from Satan. So it's a spiritual warfare. This things that they are practicing, these things are adopted from Egypt. Do you get what I'm saying? And then they go further out than Egypt. But the stronger gods were the gods that I read out to you that had the archetypes of like Isis, Osiris, and Horus, and Ra, and you know, things of that nature. Is hierarchy. They are adopting these deities, these fallen gods, these El gods, these Nephilim. They are adopting that's why they're little gods, El gods. They think they're gods, but they are not. They're gonna perish just like the flesh and bones that they are. But they are inhabited by these deities here, the fallen ones. And you guys just gotta look through my video.
Is why all of this seems to be happening now.
Yeah.
After years of people like Mike and Diddy running around doing evil, this just so happens to be the year they're getting exposed. It almost feels like this is all being orchestrated and fed to the masses. Mike was guilty for years, just like Diddy, but now all of a sudden they want to arrest him. It's not adding up to me. One thing...
It's adding up to me. Why isn't it not adding up? It's adding up to me. Let me tell you why. Because P. Diddy, Sean P. Diddy Combs, he is the scapegoat. He is Azaziel. He is the one who brought down Hollywood. And here you have a domino effect. All the El gods, all the elites. Okay, God is exposing in 2024. It makes sense to me. It's perfect sense. God says whatever's in the darkness will come to the light. This is the year for exposure, and no one can stop it.
That's interesting is that unlike Diddy, Mike Jeffries got a bond. He's not in jail rotting away like Diddy. He's being allowed to be out in the free world. Who knows if he's doing the same activities right now? And who knows if he would really end up in prison serving time for his evils? I'm gonna keep my eyes on this case, and I'm gonna keep you guys up to date. When any new information comes out, I'll make sure to let you guys know. Well, I'm gonna end this one here. I wanna...
Look, that he...
Thank you. The truth is in Jamal, and this is Morona Prophecy. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe at Morona Prophecy for more content like this. And I just want to let you know that Jesus loves you with everything he has, and I love you also. So I'll be back. Peace.